20-month-old Quinton Simon has been missing since October 5th from his Buckhalter Road home in Savannah, Georgia. His mother, Leilani Simon, is the prime suspect. Her boyfriend, Danny Youngkin, and father to her youngest daughter, Sky, was the last person to see Quinton before he left for work that morning. So where is Quinton Simon?
We have a signal 56. Complaint about her 1-year-old son is missing. She woke up, her door was open, but as he's unable to open a door, I think someone came in and took him.
The evidence has led investigators to believe that Quinton could be in a landfill and that he ended up here by regular means of disposal. Was this precious baby thrown away like a piece of trash? And if so, who did this? How could a mother do this to her own child? Or did she? Or did she have help? We know that Danny Youngkin was the last person to see Quinton before he disappeared. But Danny has since left Leilani and her family. We know that at 5:29 a.m. a text is sent from Danny's phone to the babysitter saying that she's not needed that day. We know that Danny says he saw Quinton before he left for work around 6 a.m. in his pack and play. At some point in time, Danny is notified that Quinton is missing and he leaves work and comes back home. Then another text is sent to babysitter Diana McCarta asking if she's seen Quinton.
From 7:30 until 8:30, we was outside. We did not see Quinton. Nowhere. Okay. So then me and my girls, we go to McDonald's. I live on Chatham Parkway. The McDonald's is literally right down the road. On our way back, I get a text from Danny. He says, "Have you seen Quinton?" I said, "No, why?" Well, immediately I called him. They didn't want that. He stood there. He looked at me with the most coldest look I've ever seen and said, "We've already looked." I said, "Okay." So I stood there for a minute and I looked around outside of where I was. Leilani was smoking a cigarette and Danny was standing there.
Shortly after the investigation started, we learned that Danny had actually left town. And then we saw this user on Twitter claiming that Danny took a polygraph and he was cooperative. And after Leilani's is when he got suspicious. However, this has not been confirmed by law enforcement. Someone asked this person how they knew Danny, and she responds, "He's my boyfriend's childhood best friend. Their daughter Sky is only 3 months. He and his family are like family to me." Someone asks, why is he associating with a person like Leilani? She responds, they recently had a baby. He just wanted to be able to be a dad, but she has serious issues. Like I said, he's a gentle guy, sometimes too gentle. He would have cracked. They investigated him twice already. Is he capable of lying for Leilani? Absolutely not. He's not even capable of lying for himself. He would never harm a child. She shared this video as well to her Twitter account, showing that Danny was at her house.
Blah, 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 shut the fuck up. Who wants breakfast? Who wants breakfast? You want breakfast, bro? Sure. Y'all getting on it early, huh?
Someone asks, did both of them pass their polygraphs? The babysitter stated that Danny was stepping up to make sure she had what the kids needed while she watched them. Then she responds, hi, he passed, which is why they gave him his phone back and cleared him to leave Savannah. Investigators still have hers. Apparently, she didn't pass and lied to both police and Danny about leaving the house that night. Unlike Leilani's family, Danny Youngkin has been very quiet since Quinton went missing. So who is Danny Youngkin, and could he have been involved with Quinton's disappearance? One thing we know for sure is that he is a rapper, so he does have a YouTube channel. It says it was updated 5 days ago, but the songs appear to be from about a year ago. This is a post Leilani made on July 30th, saying, can't believe it's already been 1 year and 3 months with this guy. We had so many ups and downs. We have laughed together, cried together, smiled together, and learned how to love together. I didn't know who I was or who I wanted to be. He was the one I felt comfortable enough to be myself around, to show all the scars in my heart. No matter how bad it has ever gotten between us, no matter what, I knew at the end of the day that he was one of the only people I had at the end of the night. I fell for you, Danny, and I'm still falling. You've taken in my 2 boys as your own and also gave me a beautiful little girl. You work your ass off to make sure that everyone has what they need, and if you can, you'll get us all what we want to. You're so handsome and so sweet. I love being around you. Something about your presence and your smile brighten a whole room. I love you, Danny Youngkin. Danny also did a music video for one of his songs. I will link it down in the description below. Because for some reason, this is not on his YouTube page. It's on the other artist that he has collaborated with before.
I go through so much, that's why I smoke. I go through so much, that's why I smoke.
Now, we've seen Leilani's family coming out onto YouTube now, trying to shift some of the attention back onto Danny. They have stated that before he left town, he said something along the lines of, he held the key to all the answers.
These people, you know what? They ain't got nothing better to do. All they do is sitting out here trying to get money. That's all they have.
Wait!
They don't care about no justice. We want justice.
No, you don't. Then bring us the baby.
If y'all want to go get justice, why don't you go to Dunn, North Carolina, and talk to her boyfriend?
We will.
That's
what
where
we
he's at.
think.
He's the one that holds the answers.
Ooh, tell us.
Okay, tell us so we know.
No, you don't know.
We need to know.
We can know.
We need to.
kind of figured he had something to do with it, honestly.
We've also heard from babysitter Diana McCarta that Danny would always make sure that the kids had whatever they needed when they went over to the babysitter's house, and that he seemed to genuinely care about the children. Is Danny silenced because he really knows more information than what he's leading on, or is it because he was involved? If we go back to this Twitter post where it says apparently she didn't pass and lied to both police and Danny about leaving that night, that makes it sound like something happened the night before, and if so, then did Danny really see Quinton the next morning before he left for work? And why text the babysitter and tell her she wasn't needed if the babysitter actually watched the children even when Leilani did not go to work? According to Michael, Leilani's brother, Danny was late to work that morning. So why was he late? Plus, we know that the back door was standing open for 3 hours. So did Danny see that door open and close it? Could Quinton have really gotten out that back door and drowned in the pool? Then we have Billy Joe's theory, which was that Leilani was cooking, Danny was giving the boys a bath, Zane got out first, and we believe Quinton drowned in the tub. Danny put the boys to bed, and then Leilani realized he was gone and panicked. According to her, both Leilani and Danny were using DRUGSs that night. So Danny obviously knows about Leilani's history with substances. Plus, we know that when Leilani gave birth to Sky, she tested positive for those substances. So even if Danny actually did have love and care for these children, he was also using substances as well. And taking certain substances and staying up all night can impair your judgment from your lack of sleep and the effects of the substance itself, making you do things you normally wouldn't do. So we have to remember for now that Danny has not been officially cleared by law enforcement. And personally, in my mind, I can't clear him yet either. We just don't have enough evidence. One thing for sure is that Leilani's family is definitely trying to turn the attention back onto Danny. They suspect that him and Leilani are at fault for what happened to Quinton. Law enforcement hasn't really released much information about the evidence that they do have, so we just have to wait and hope that they find Quinton soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please do me a favor and like this video, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon to get notifications for when I post.